So we had a podcast with a doctor in Syria, in Al-Suwayda, the Druze province that has been under siege and under attack. Her name is Dr. Lujain, I might be saying the name wrong, a beautiful name that means the reflection of the moon over the water. That beautiful human, that doctor who is right now in Sueda, still under siege, treating the wounded, the starving people of Sueda. By the way, they still don't have water and food, properly reaching that region, and people there are suffering from true hunger and famine. The world is just silent. What I did here is a friend of mine, Rebecca, helped me compile a few shorts from that clip so we can show you. There's much more. The stories are just heartbreaking and so important to be shared and fascinating. If anyone want to watch the complete interview, you can go to my live video. I'm going to leave the link here where you can see it and understand basically the entire picture of what's happening. It's super important for us that you help share this content because mainstream media is just not covering it. So without further ado, we're gonna jump right in.
He was heading to Sueda, to kill Druze people. And Israel stopped them. Let me tell you something. There was a convoy. Of course, maybe a lot of people now who are watching this podcast would say that, oh, well, these traitors, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm gonna say this accident, which is I lived here in Sueda. There was a military convoy coming from Damascus, from the Damascus-Sueda highway. There was more than 90 tanks. It was more than 35 kilometers long. It was full of rocket launchers and bombs and all types of heavy weapons. It was heading to Sueda. He was heading to Sueda, to kill Druze people. And Israel stopped them. So how would we feel? This is something that happened.
As a woman and a doctor, we heard a lot about sexual assaults. Can you tell us a bit what is the stories behind the rumors that we hear about?
It's not rumors. 9 women from one family were raped, slaughtered, and their bodies were left on the street naked.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's not only these 9 women. There are a lot of women. And now we have captives, women captives, and we don't know what they're doing to them. Because they have something called sabaya, and sabaya means that they can go arrest any woman or take any woman hostage if she's not Muslim, and take her as a hostage and be a sex toy. And now we have more than 200 women captives at their hands, and we don't know what's going on with them. They've taken them as sabaya.
Yeah, it's important to explain to the people, because you might have heard the word. There's sabiya and there's sabaya. It's different words.
Yeah.
Sabaya is the
Yeah.
terms that we have from the Quran, basically, from the early Islam, that was used for what do they do with after they kill the man of the enemy, what do they do with their women? And that was the term for a slave. So they take them as a slave, and then they became, correct me if I'm wrong, jawari, sex slave already. Now these people, what they do is usually they will make the woman as a sex slave, and the little boys, and I might be saying some things that might be very hard for people to hear, but they basically check your genitals, and if you have hairs there, then you're a man, they kill you. If not, then they take you as a slave. That little boy now becomes a slave. That is something that was practiced a lot in the Ottoman Empire. The Christians take their boys, make them slaves, indoctrinate them, beat them up, torture them, make them to radical, raising, murderous soldiers, and then later on send these Christian boys to go and kill other Christians, because it was easy. That's not their children. So the men they will make as slaves, and the women they will make as sex slaves. What we're seeing in Syria is, I often say that the Mad Max of the jihadist world, of the Arab world, we're seeing just tribes of nomads. These people don't have real jobs. They're not educated people. They don't invest in the stock market. They're not doctors, dentists, or Uber drivers. They are tribal rapists and warriors that just move from place to place, and that's how they make their money. They kill the family, they rape the women, and then they go and take the gold, the money, and the weapons, and they move on. They take with them little boys as slaves and little girls as sex slaves. Usually they will just murder and leave them naked on the street.
Since the late attack, like 2 months ago,
Did you
we've
think as
been
a doctor that one
training.
day you'll be trained to use a weapon?
By the way,
Another thing.
a lot of women were fighting. A lot of women, like hundreds of women were fighting against them and fighting like in military bases, not like fighting at home. Women
Wow.
are also now, yeah, now all of us are trained to use the weapons lately since the late attack like 2 months ago.
Did you
We've
think
been
as a doctor that one
training.
day you'll be trained to use a weapon?
Yeah, I've never thought about it in my life. I'm very peaceful, like I'm a very peaceful person. And it was very scary, you know, when I first held it, it was extremely scary. But then I had to do it. I had to train. I have to protect myself.
So if you've watched until here, I just want to give you a quick reminder to do this and click this and maybe leave a comment right here. This helps this channel greatly to keep growing, and after all, I am doing this for free and out of my own free time, so it means a lot to me and it practically helped me keep doing what I'm doing. And if you want to find a direct practical way, you can click right here. I'm going to leave the link to Patreon. Go and click that. You can find practical ways to keep supporting the work that I'm doing. But thank you for sticking around and keep watching.
So what happened is that I called my friends urgently and they said the internet is not working. And then I called another friends. They said the internet is not working. And then fortunately, these people, they had internet, they have Starlink internet. So, and it's working, and you saw yourself, it cut out twice. And thankfully now it's working. The hospital was enclosed with the HTS or the general security members for about 2 days, but like the real hard hours were day one, since 11:30 in the morning till 11:30 in the evening. Those were the most problematic and the most sensitive hours, because they were thinking about, of course, there was a tank. They brought a tank into the hospital.
And no, but we here to say Druze life matters.
There is minorities in the Middle East who are being erased as we're speaking. Right now, the main focus is on erasing the Druze. For those of you who don't know, there's 1 million Druze around the world, give or take, just a little bit over that, and most of them are in Syria. Syria alone have more Druze than all the world together. So just to give you an example, Syria have more than half of the Druze worldwide in Syria, and they are being right now ethnically cleansed in every possible way. Kill their men, rape their women, steal their children, convert their children. And Islam, radical Islam, especially the Salafi one, doesn't leave a place to leave Islam. So once you're a Muslim, if you try to leave, then you should be killed as well. So if you can tell me of a more totalitarian, oppressive religion than that is going right now and trying to erase every minority that I mentioned right now that exists in the Middle East. So if people care about minorities, where is your cry? If people care about the innocent people that are just trying to live their life and preserve their way of life, where is your cry? That is the real genocide that is happening, guys. And why are we ignoring it? Why is mainstream media not covering it?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because they are pure evil. They are pure evil, and everybody is working along with them. All the Western, double-faced humanitarian or human rights organizations that bash Israel day and night are all silent about what's happening, and they ignore the facts. Absolutely. This is why me and Mansour are doing days and night to try to give the story of what's happening over there. And no, but we here to say Druze life matters. It matters for us. It matters for us, the Druze in Israel, and we are proud that Israel, the only country that stopped this massacre or made it easier for what it could be, because of those animals went wild, free, like free wild animals into Sueda. They wouldn't stop. Nothing could stop them.
They're beasts. They're monsters. They're not even animals. They're monsters. So we love life. We're people of life. So do not lose us.
What's happening in Sueda hospital? Did you treat people? What is with medicine over there? What is the situation over there?
Well, you can say Sueda is a disastrous area. So, for example, the hospital, it's a really real disaster. There's no equipment. There's no medicine. In the first 4 days, it was like a horror movie. There were hundreds of corpses everywhere brought to the hospital, and the bodies were accumulating like over each other. You know, it was full of corpses, and a lot of people, we don't know their names or their background. Like, they're Druze, but we don't know like from which, from the city or from a village. It was horrible.
The level of
God.
racism just will blow
A
your
friend
mind.
of mine who's he's a painter too. His name is Rabi' al-Baini. May his soul rest in peace. He had a dog, a black dog. She was very beautiful. Her name was Whitey. She's black, but her name is Whitey. They shot him and the cat and the dog. Like, what do you want with the dog? Why did you kill the dog?
The scale of the massacre is still not fully known, because they're still discovering bodies.
Cindy Hoover asked, please repeat how many women and children have been taken. I'll ask her when she comes back.
She said 200. There are a lot of missing people.
They're still missing, and the numbers that keep coming up.
The scale of the massacre is still not fully known, because they're still discovering bodies. There are 35 villages that are under the occupation of the ISIS groups, and there's no communication. So it's it's very hard to know the scale and how many people are missing, how many people died, how many people had been kidnapped. It's a whole mayhem over there. It's heartbreaking.
Please help this voice reach out. Mainstream media is not covering this. World leaders are suppressing this. And most people are not even hearing about what's happening to the Druze in Al-Suwayda. Why do you think that the mainstream media, that the Western leaders are all on this with the ISIS regime that took over Syria? Because we're hearing clearly that it's becoming like Taliban. It's not safe for women. It's not safe for Christians. It's not safe for Druze. It's not safe for minorities. Men are not even allowed to wear shorts. Girls are not allowed to go to school. It's literally becoming Afghanistan in front of our eyes. We're seeing ethnic cleansing, undoubtedly by the government. I have a call for action for everyone who's watching this video right now. But you saw for yourself right now how difficult it is for the people in Syria, the innocent people who are being slaughtered by the government, to bring out their voice. The Syrian regime is controlling the media. Western leaders are buying it. Mainstream media is buying it. And we're not hearing anything from the people like Dr. Lujain here and anyone in Sueda. Please help this voice reach out. Help us. I'm being very serious. This seems to be the only chances that we have, maybe the only platforms that we have where we're bringing real voices, but they're not reaching anyone because they can't even freaking get an internet. She had to walk 3 kilometers to a friend's house, and it's not a safe environment to walk there.